Hello, friends, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about a really big change happening in the tech world. You see, the old way that companies in the US hire developers, well, it's just not working anymore. And this is creating a huge opportunity for talented people everywhere. So in this explainer, we will break down exactly what's going on.
So let's start with a simple question. Why is all this change happening in the first place? Well, for a long time now, finding and hiring good software developers in the US has become really hard. It's not just expensive, the whole process is super slow and full of problems. And for any company that's trying to grow, this has become a major issue. And that brings us to our first main point. Tech hiring is changing because the old way is basically broken. It's just too slow and it costs way too much money. So companies had to start looking for smarter ways to build their teams. Okay, so let's look at the main problems. First, the cost. Developer salaries in the US are just going up and up. Then there's the visa issue. If a company wants to hire someone from another country, the whole visa process has become a big headache with lots of paperwork and waiting. And finally, it takes months just to find and hire one person. Imagine how much that slows down their projects. And to give you an idea of the cost, look at this number. $80 per hour. And believe me, that's often just the starting rate for a developer in the US. Can you imagine trying to build a big team at that price? It's just not possible for most companies. So naturally, when the old way gets this difficult, people start searching for a better way, right? Companies needed to build their teams without all the high costs and long delays. And that search led them to start looking outside their own country. And that brings us to the first big solution that became very popular. It's called nearshoring. Let's take a look at what this actually means. Nearshoring is a pretty simple idea. Instead of hiring someone in your own city or from a country on the other side of the world, you build your team in a country that's close by, one that has a similar time zone. So, for example, US companies started hiring teams from Latin American countries like Mexico and Colombia, and companies in Europe, they started hiring from countries in Eastern Europe like Poland. The biggest advantage here is the time zone. Because they are similar, the teams can actually talk and collaborate during the same working hours. And here's the best part, the cost. Remember that $80 rate in the US? Well, with nearshoring, that rate drops down to around $20 an hour. That's a massive saving for any company.
So nearshoring was a good solution for the location and time zone problem. But what if you could find the absolute best person for the job, no matter where they lived? This is where a newer tech-based solution comes into the picture.
And this next big step in hiring is what we call a talent cloud. Let's explore this powerful new idea. So what is a talent cloud, really? Well, think of it like a smart online platform. It's a global marketplace that uses technology to connect the world's best developers directly with companies. It completely skips the old, slow hiring methods. And just look at how fast this is growing. In 2020, this market was already worth $63 billion. But by 2030, it's expected to reach $216 billion. Wow! That kind of growth tells you that companies are really adopting this new model very quickly. Okay, so this sounds great, but how do these platforms actually do it? Let's look behind the scenes and see how they find such amazing talent from all across the globe.
The main idea is to use technology like AI to make the whole hiring process simple and automatic. These platforms focus on giving companies 4 main benefits when they're looking for the best people. So how do they deliver? First, they're obsessed with quality. They have very tough tests to find only the top 1% of developers in the world. Second, speed. Companies can hire someone in just a few days, not a few months. And third, they give you true global access. You can hire the best person for the job, and it doesn't matter what country they are from. This map really gives you an idea of what global means. Just look at this. Platforms like Turing already have over 1 million developers from 140 different countries. And as you can clearly see, India is a massive hub in this worldwide talent network. Okay, so we've looked at nearshoring, and we've looked at talent clouds. Let's just put them next to each other for a quick comparison so we can see the key differences.
You see, nearshoring is mainly about solving the location problem. It helps companies hire from nearby countries to get good time zone sync and lower costs. Talent clouds are different. They use technology like AI to solve the quality and speed problem. They find the very best talent from anywhere in the world. They test their skills, and then they match them to jobs very quickly. So far, we've talked a lot about companies. But now, let's get to the most important part. What does all of this mean for tech professionals like us,
especially for all of us here in India. This is fantastic news for all developers in India. It means there are more opportunities than ever to get high-paying jobs with top US companies, all without leaving your home. What really matters now are your skills, not the city you live in. The future of work is remote and it's global, and these platforms are the way to get there. This is a big change, and it's a big opportunity. This new way of working, global and remote, it's not some dream about the future. It is happening right now. So the only question is, are you ready for it?
Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you found this helpful. If you want to read the full articles and get into the details, please click on the link given below. See you next time.